Guys, we're back. Got a new Fire Emblem Heroes trailer to take a look at, so let's check it out and see what's up. Alright, start things off with a rearmed hero. Okay. Wait, is that Machua? It is. Ooh. Okay, so we got Thracia coming in hot here. So, Machua, our boy, he's going to be a sword infantry type. Okay. English voice acting. Rare to see in this day and age for some reason, but there it is. Okay, so Arcane Renegade. It's been a hot minute since we've had an Arcane Sword. So, this one's going to have to pay the bills here. Okay, 16 might, 1 range, -1 special trigger for allies in 3 spaces a unit. Grants attack and speed up 5 during combat. And also, when ally deals damage to a foe during combat, recovers 7 HP to ally. That's a pretty good support, because it's giving you the 7 recovery on hit landed, as opposed to, like, after combat. So, if you're brave attacking, that's potentially 4 hits that you could do. Or if you're Baby Camilla or, like, Duo Marth, then you can hit 5 times. What is that, 35 potential HP that you could be recovering in combat? So, pretty good. Also, if the foe initiates combat or if unit's HP is over 25% at the start of combat, grants a bonus to attack speed, defense, and res equal to 25% of the foe's attack at the start of combat -4, with a max of 14 and a min of 5. Deals damage equal to 15% of attack, including on AoEs. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 15% of attack, including on AoEs. And grant special cooldown count -1 to unit before unit's first attack during combat. And also, when unit deals damage to the foe during combat, recovers 7 HP to unit. Alright, not too shabby. Overall, pretty solid arcane weapon. Alright, then we got Gust. We got Distant Bonus Doubler. Ugh. At this point, I would have preferred they just gave him, like, Distant Solo. Alright, Hot-Blooded. Unit can counterattack before the foe's first attack, so he's got Vantage just straight up. If a skill compares unit speed to a foe or ally's speed, treat speed as if granted +7. At start of turn and start of enemy phase, except in SD. If unit is in 2 spaces of an ally, triggers the following effects. If special cooldown count is at its maximum value, grants special cooldown count -1 to unit. Grants reduce percentage of foes' non-special DR by half skills during combat. And dodge to unit and allies for 1 turn. Or units in 2 spaces of allies for 1 turn. And then if foe initiates combat or foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, inflicts attack, speed, and defense -5 on the foe during combat. Deals damage equal to 20% of speed, including on AoEs. Wow, he's got that twice for AoEs. Ooh. And reduce damage from foes' attacks by 20% of speed, including on AoEs. And if unit's special cooldown count is at its max value after combat, grants cooldown count -1. Yeah, why did they give him Gust when this guy is clearly an AoE spammer? It's about time we get a brand new AoE special, I think. Because all the existing ones, just like the Blazings and the Growing specials, they're just... they're from day 1. Would this not be the perfect time to give us a brand new AoE special that's inheritable? 500 SP, maybe, instead of doing, like, what is... I think the Blazing specials are 2 times or 1.5 times your attack. They could do, like, 2.5 times at this point. And would it be broken? Sure. But we have a lot of pre-combat healing, like with Imbue and Breath of Life and all that stuff, so I think AoEs could use a little buff. Alright, then he's got Attack and Speed Faith here, brand new C skill. At start of player phase or enemy phase, if unit is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack and speed up 6 and Bulwark to unit for 1 turn. And if Bulwark is active on unit, grants attack and speed up 4 to unit. Reduce damage from foe's first attack by 5. And grant special cooldown count -1 to unit before foe's first attack. Wow, he has so much cooldown pulsing. Wow. That's a pretty solid C skill. Yeah, really the only thing I wish they could have did better was give him distant attack speed solo, or like a brand new distant solo skill or something. Or attack and speed distant form. Like Burger King had attack and defense form, I believe. Distant form. So a new form distant counter would have been good. Okay, we got Linoan up next, I believe. Yeah, Linoan, you say potato, I say patata, man. Tomato, what's the difference? In the fold, plus 12 might, 2 range for allies in 3 rows of 3 column center on unit, grants attacking speed of 5, and neutralize penalties during their combat. And then if unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 5 to unit, neutralize penalties on unit, and deals plus X damage during combat. With a max of 15, excluding on AoEs, and X is the number of allies in 3 rows of 3 columns centered on unit times 5. Ain't this the same weapon that the bride... what's her face again? Damn, I already can't even remember. The most recent bride flying staff unit had this. Oh, man, I seriously cannot remember who it was now. Alright, Recover Plus, Deluge Bomb, Attack Res Form, and Drive Speed. So, insane demote energy right there, but that weapon is pretty good to get in the demote pool. And maybe Linoan herself will actually be a solid unit. So, only time will tell. So we get the data mines. I like the animation, actually, on that staff. That's pretty cool. Alright, next up we have... Oh, Meliai already? They never build up suspense. Whenever they reveal a new OC or whoever in the data mine, it's always the very next banner where they release them. They don't know how to build up suspense or build up hype, man. It's just like, here's the new character. Okay, here you go. Now summon for him. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, Meliai, we already know. She's a green beast armor type. It seems like an interesting character. We don't really know too much about her just yet. We know she's looking for Asker, but we don't really know why. Alright, Wandering Horn, 14 might and 1 range, -1 special trigger. Allies in 2 spaces a unit can move to any space. You see what I did there? Move to any space in 2 spaces a unit. And then unit can move to any space in 2 spaces of an ally within 2 spaces a unit. So she warps and her allies warp. So just lots and lots of warping. At start of turn and at the start of enemy phase, except an SD, grants... If HP is over 25%, grants attack and defense up 6, resonant blades and resonant shields to unit and allies in 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. And also for unit and allies in 2 spaces of unit, if their special cooldown is at its max count, then you get -1. And then for allies in 2 spaces of unit, if their cooldown count is at max value after combat, then grants a further -1. So she's just Ash and Asker combined, pretty much. And then if foe initiates combat or unit's HP is over 25% at the start of combat, inflicts penalty on the enemy's attack and defense equal to 20% of unit's defense at the start of combat +6. Deals damage equal to 20% of unit's defense and reduces damage from foes' attacks by 20% of defense. That's actually dirty that she does the percentage-based stat drop and then has true DR based on defense right afterwards. And then, of course, she's going to have passives, and she's got specials that give her DR, too. So it seems like she's going to be a very good unit. And then also, if unit special cooldown count is at its max value after combat, gets a -1. And then she has the Armored Beast transformation with distant counter and attack up 2. Okay, so we have Sturdy Beast as her special, which is good. We got Attack and Defense Fortune. We have Slick Fighter 4. And then we have Attack and Defense Briar Near Save. So... I mean, Burger Kings all around the world, rejoice. There is your C skill. Had to wait a grand total of like 2 months to actually get the skill he wanted. So yeah, obviously that's very good. Briar Near Save is one of the more long-awaited skills. We had Attack and Res Briar Near Save, but Attack and Res for Near Saving, it's not awful, but it's like not really the combo you would want. You would want either Attack and Defense or Defense and Res. So certainly we'll take this one here. So yeah, Meliai seems actually very good. We caught a brief glimpse of her stats there. If I can maybe cheat, we can get it. Okay, actually, I guess I stand corrected. No, that was just the battle forecast. Oh, no, there are her stats right there. Okay, so we got 47 HP. She's getting +6 to attack and defense, so she has actually 65. Is that 65 or is that 60? 65, right? +6. Yeah, 65 attack, 18 speed, 47 defense, and then she's taking minus something to res from somewhere. I actually have no idea where the res drop is coming from, but 41 res for the time being. Alright, stat line seems pretty good. Maybe could use a little bit more res, but the unit has to have a weakness somewhere. Unless your name is Burger King, then you can have no weaknesses anywhere. Alright, so we take out... We're bullying Desert Altina for some reason. A unit that hasn't seen play in years. Alright, and we also have an attuned hero, so who's this one going to be? There, we got Leif by the looks of it. So, finally, a new Leif. I know a lot of people have been waiting on Leif to get something, and here he is. So, we have here a green bow archer cavalry type Leif. Alright, stat line is 40 HP. Probably getting +6 to attack and defense, I'm just going to assume. So, let's say 57 attack. He probably has a brave weapon if his attack is that bad. 16 speed. And then, yeah, he definitely has a brave weapon. Then we got 45 defense and then 32 res. Again, taking inconclusive res drops from somewhere. All right, here he is up against Emblem Ike. So, Bow of Loyalty, 9 might, 2 range, effective against flying, -1 special trigger, brave attacking, even on the enemy phase. At start of turn, if unit is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack and defense up 6. Neutralize enemy bonuses during combat, and incited to unit and allies in 2 spaces for 1 turn. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants a bonus to attack, defense, and res equal to 20% of defense +5 at the start of combat. Unit deals +X damage and reduce damage from foes' attacks by X, where X is the number of allies in 3 columns and 3 rows centered on unit times 5. With a max of 15, and neutralize effects that inflict guard on unit. Would have been slightly better if they gave him the Ninja Lucina Brave or True Damage effect where it goes up to 25 and it's based on bonuses and penalties. Because I feel like that's way easier to stack to a higher number. This is not going to be hard to get to 15, but like the cap is a little too low at 15. When we already have Brave units doing like true damage of 25+. Alright, the True Nyorin. 3 hit special, boosts damage by 50% of defense when special triggers. Enables Kanto Ally 2/2. I believe Kanto Ally 2/2 means you can warp to an ally within 2 spaces, and then it's 2 spaces of that. So, like, basically a reverse Guidance 4, I guess, would be the way to explain it. If unit initiates combat, after combat, if unit special triggered and unit survives, grants another action to unit. And also, if unit is not in 2 spaces of an ally, inflicts gravity on unit and pair up cohort. Once per turn in 2 spaces, and then is calculated based on position of unit after triggering post-combat effects. Okay, also, if unit or foe's special is ready, or units or foes special triggered before or during this combat, reduce damage from foe's next attack by 40%. Oh, that's cool. Non-pierceable DR there. Okay. Once per combat, yeah, but I've actually twice per combat if you have a fallen Alir on the team. He seems pretty good so far. Okay, Sturdy Flare, so this should be Flared Sparrow, except doing attack and defense. Yeah, basically like Flare Mirror, but Sturdy Flare. Arc Fort Breath. What in the world is this? New B skill here. Inflicts attack and defense -4 on the foe. Unit deals +X damage, including on AoEs. X is the greater of 15% of unit's attack or 20% of unit's defense. And grants special clown charge +1 to unit per attack during combat. And also when unit special triggers, neutralize foes' damage reduction effects from foes' non-special skills. Okay, doesn't seem too bad of a B skill. Yeah, you're getting actually quite a bit of true damage there. You're getting some cooldown charging. Is this better than any of the other, like, true damage effects that we have for the B skill? Like, what are some examples? We have Occult Strike, which is still pretty solid. Gives you a percentage based on the enemy's defense, and then you do a little chip damage. But this one's got Nullified Guard, though, and then it well, he has Nullified Guard, and then this has Special Cooldown Charging. So, pretty nice combo there. Alright, then he has Shadow Shift and Sly Echo, which is going to be his Echo skill. If unit initiates combat, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up. And also, if number of bonuses active on unit are greater than or equal to 2, excluding stat bonuses, or if penalty effects on foe are greater than or equal to 2, then unit deals +5 damage during combat. Okay, just straight up way better than, like... remember, what was it again? Death Blow Echo? Why'd they even bother with that, man? Yeah, but this seems pretty good. You're getting 5 true damage on every hit you do. So, not too shabby. I mean, a lot of the Echo skills are just very good, though, right now, so... It doesn't stand out too much, but it is... Is it the highest DPS? I feel like LOL Echo might be the highest DPS, because you're neutralizing their stats to, like, defense and res, but... In that same regard... neutralizing enemy bonuses is such a common effect right now that this probably is just the most DPS from an Echo skill now. Alright, so his res was actually 34. Here we're bullying the Ice Tribe Fiorm for some reason. Hey, Insys, you want to put Burger King in one of these? You want to show the new unit trying to take out Burger King? Why is it always, like, past meta units? It's never a relevant unit that they show off these new trailer units against. Okay, so there is Valley. Looks like she's going to finally show up as a fightable enemy. She's part of the story here. Yeah, there she is right there. So she's going to be a green tome. We're going to get her in the data mine, too. We're going to see what her weapon does in her Balder plushie of Doom, whatever that's going to do. That seems to be her weapon here. Okay, so... yeah, Banner is dropping basically tomorrow. So we're going to get the reset... well... after this reset, it's the next reset. And then we have Homer here. He's going to be... presumably, this is going to be a new book hero, or a new mission hero, because... not going to be on the banner, but a new 3-star and 4-star focus. So I would imagine missions are going to be available for Homer. Crab tome there. Giant enemy crab. Alright, you get 2 sparks, of course, because it's got an arcane and an attuned hero. So overall, Banner seems okay. I would say Meliai seems really good. Leif actually seems really good as well. And then the new arcane sword looks pretty good. Machua is just like a god sword, though, unfortunately. So how good is he actually going to be? Probably main use for him is just going to be as a fodder bank attuned hero, or fodder bank arcane hero rather. And then Linoan is a demote, so maybe she could end up being good if she's got some good, like, stats. But for the time being, she's mainly just there for her weapon inheritance. So there you guys go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Actually, hold on. Before we hop out of here, we can head over to Twitter and take a look at the new passive skills if they have them posted. Okay, yes, they do. So let's quickly check this out before we get out of here. So Sturdy Flare, of course, is for cavalry and flyers only, which is the same thing as Flared Sparrow and Flared Mirror. Arc Forth Breath, all movement types, and then it's for range units only. Well, not range, actually specifically bow units. Huh. That's pretty interesting. How often do we get bow unit inheritable skills? Like, I think it's just like Curved Shot and Dead Eye, right? I don't think we have any passives that are bow only. So that's kind of cool. Alright, then we got Sly Echo, which is for everybody besides staffs. And then we got Attack and Speed Faith, which is for infantry only. And then it's for melee only. Yeah, infantry melee only, including dragons and beasts. And then Briar near save, which is obvious, is for armors only. So yeah, that pretty much wraps us up for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I will catch y'all again tomorrow for the data mines.